he tried to knock me for some money. And at that point, someone rang me up and was like, "Oh, do you want to come and work for us?" This was the automatic door industry.
Right.
So I whacked it all in.
You've gone through the certification of NAPIT, is it?
Yeah.
How did you find that?
Oh, I was shitting myself.
Why?
I came out of school with nothing. I think I got one GCSE because I did it in year 10.
Today on ToolBox Talks for Electricians, we have Joe from JK Electrical. Welcome, Joe. Well, this question, you might like to, I'm going to start off with, is what sparked your interest in becoming an electrician? Do you like the pun?
Yeah. Well, I came out of school with nothing. I think I got one GCSE because I did it in year 10. And then I was dossing at home, and my old man.
So you're saying you didn't get good grades in GCSEs then?
I didn't have any. Didn't take any from school. I left school early.
Did you try, or you just weren't interested?
I was one of them. I was in the bottom classes. I didn't get along at school. I hated school.
You mess about.
To a degree, yeah. But me and school didn't get along. So I dropped out, and my old man went. At the time, he had his own company doing automatic door systems.
Oh yeah.
Do you know like Tesco's sliding doors, swing
sliding doors,
blah,
stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So he turned around and went, "What are you going to do with the rest of your life? Are you going to work in McDonald's or whatever?" And I was like, "Well, no, you've got a
bad
job.
idea to get free food."
You've got a company. I'll come and work for you." And I'd always done like Saturdays with him and worked with him in some
You've got
holidays.
into hands-on, and obviously it come from family as well.
I've always been on like mechanically minded, not academically.
Right.
And basically went and worked for him, and I went on to like a permanent work experience because I still should have been in school.
Right.
And then
how old were you then?
I dropped out year 10. So I was
16, something like that.
16, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm November, so I'm like one of the oldest in the year.
Right.
So yeah, I dropped out, worked for him, and then when my school year went to college, I started my apprenticeship. And I had done my first year, because back then it was, you do level 2 years, then you do a year of level 3, and then you had to do your portfolio.
Yeah.
And then basically,
this is as an electrician sort of thing. So your dad put you through being an apprentice, but basically.
Yeah, so he got me on the course for the first year.
Yeah.
And then the college were like, "No, you need to be working with an electrician," because all we were doing was wiring to a spur.
Right.
Because it was all low volt stuff and stuff like 12 volt switching and etc. And then I then tried to find an apprenticeship, and I went to the college, and they gave me a list as long as your arm. And it was all like
places to apply, or
just all the companies in the area. So I sat there for like 3-4 days just ringing every man and his dog. And then I got an apprenticeship with an old boy, one-man band, and then done my apprenticeship, completed it with him. We were doing domestic and
that's interesting. Then you said you rung them up rather than sending out emails or covering letters. You physically rung them.
I got the list of them, and then I just rung every man and his dog.
I think that's a massive advantage, because then they get to hear the voice at the end of the phone, because so many people send out emails or covering letters saying, "Oh, look at this is my CV." I don't know. I don't look at them a lot.
Well, any of the apprentices that like approach me, I've literally just taken on an apprentice 2 months ago now.
Yeah.
And any of the apprentices that have approached me, I've just said to them, "Look, just find anyone you can in the local area, ring them up, send them emails, do whatever, just get in contact with them the best way possible, and see what they've got going on." That's the only way you're going to do it.
Exactly.
And that's what I did.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, I went for a couple of interviews, sent out emails that the ones that requested it, but the guy I got the job with, who's a one-man band, and I went for a trial day with him.
Yeah.
And that was it. That set me up. Don't get me wrong, when I worked for him, I did not like the bloke.
Because he was, you don't have to do it in a way, do you? You're doing it as a stepping stone.
Yeah, but he taught me the right way, which was the old way of, I remember there was one day I run an SWA. He didn't like the way I run it. So I walked away from it. I was all happy with it. He was like, "No, do it again." So I just had to do it again. And like back then, we didn't have the ergo strips or the CK armored slice and stuff like that. It was, it was hacksaw. It was doing it the proper way, and that's why I do it with my
Manual
apprentice. Yeah, it's like my apprentice now. It's like, no, you ain't using that, so you can do it like that.
Yeah.
Because say your CK slice brakes or your ergo strip brakes, you've got to learn how to do it.
Yeah,
the
you put you off the
tools.
job, wouldn't you? You've got to learn how to do it. Well, if you got to do it sometimes. Have you done it before with just a hacksaw blade?
Yeah,
because you ain't got a hacksaw, but you've got a blade in the bottom of your kit.
Literally, the other day I posted on TikTok that I'd done a ball change, and I had to, because the armour was coming out of the wall, you couldn't get a CK slice in there. You couldn't get anything in there. So I literally bit of electrical tape around the hand that ran the part of the blade.
Yeah.
And there's me with a mini junior blade around the back of it.
Just needs must.
Yeah. Whatever you need to do to get the job done, isn't it?
So your apprenticeship then, did you do it through the council or did you do JTL training or anything like that?
No, I've done the college council apprenticeship.
Right.
So I didn't do any of these training provider ones. I literally went to the college that was round the corner from my house. So that was spot on. And then he wouldn't pay me more what I wanted.
But once I got qualified?
Once I got qualified, he wouldn't pay me what I wanted. So then I done the old agency route. And I jumped around. I've done everything.
Did you have, when you qualified then, did you have your 2391 as well?
No.
You just had the 17th edition possibly.
I done my apprenticeship just as the 17th came out.
Right.
We were the first batch of the 17th.
Right.
And I got my AM2 with it. And then I just run on my 17th edition, and it was only last year that I'd done my 2391.
Right. You got it now, sorry. But so when you did agency, were you confident like to go into agency, to go to an agency, say, yeah, I'm a qualified electrician, for them to say, go on then, go wire that three-phase board?
It's one of them, isn't it?
Yeah, sometimes if you're thrown in the deep end, it's either sink or swim, so you learn how to do it, don't you? And it might take you a lot, like 2 or 3 hours more, but you still do it because you remember how you done it at college, and sometimes you think, shit, how did I remember doing this? 3-phase, single-phase tests and all that.
Well, the best bit was, somehow or another, when I was working with my dad, because he'd done the auto doors, but he used to take on other jobs as well.
Right.
And we had Pyro tools.
So you used Pyro as well?
Yeah. So I was on an agency job, and it was a school. And what they'd done, they'd extended the fire alarm circuit. And I was there, and they were like, oh, we've got to do Pyro. And me being me, I was like, oh, I can do that. I can do that.
A lot of people can't, man.
The old traditional phase is like, what's it? Blag it until you make it, or wing
basically,
it. Yeah. So it was like, I knew I had the tools to do the job. So I was like, sod it, I'll put my name forward. And then I was like scratching my head going, hold on a sec, it's been a few years since I've done this.
And all that, yeah.
So the old YouTube came out, and I was like, there we go, refresh my memory.
Yeah, definitely. You don't do things like that all the time, do you? Well, I haven't done it for, it's got to be 10, 15 years. I haven't touched any Pyro.
But a lot of people hate on the agency stuff because, don't get me wrong, you do get the ones who just turn up with like a screwdriver and they go, I'm here to do a day's work.
Yeah.
Where's your kit? But it benefited me very well because
threw you in at the deep end in a way.
Yeah, but I went from doing like flats, office refurbs into flats. Then it was like we'd done a bit on hospitals, we'd done schools. Then I jumped on the solar farms. Like when they had the first hit of the solar farms come out, and they were doing the first bundle of them, jumped on them. That was brilliant. Absolutely.
You enjoyed that.
Oh, the team of lads.
Because it's interesting, I suppose, as well, isn't it?
It's something different to get your mind going. I'll get bored in the same place. Like, don't get me wrong, I jumped on with a firm once, and we were just doing it was in Clapham Junction. There was like, I think it was like 20, 30 stories. And we started it, and we were doing cable containment, like tray work in the winter, on like the 15th floor with no wraparound on the building.
Yeah,
all there was scaffolding. And the tray work and the unistrut was sitting in snow and wet and everything like that. And we were holding it above our heads, and it's just trickling down your arm.
So that's something you don't enjoy. So you've gone from the good stuff and also the rubbish stuff.
Oh, I've done it all. But I've jumped about in the industry and done quite well. The only thing I've never got into is like HV stuff, which is something I
Yeah.
wish I'd done,
Yeah.
but I've never done.
Never had a chance to do it as yet. But so
No.
when you left school, then did you plan to become an electrician, or did you sort of just follow that path?
I just like fell into it when I was at school. I wanted to do DT, but
Right.
there weren't enough students picked it when you do your options,
Yeah.
and
So
so I
that got
couldn't do
dropped because that's hands-on and that's like craft work and stuff.
woodwork and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And yeah, it got dropped, so I couldn't do that. So I ended up doing food tech.
Right. So you can cook then.
I can cook
Beans.
better than the missus.
Yeah. You're gonna get smacked round the head now.
No, to be fair, she'd agree with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm one of those
Because
I
she
can
can't be
walk.
able to do it herself, she'd let you do
Yeah, I'm
it.
one of those that can walk into the fridge and I'll just make something out of something.
Too right.
Where
Beetroot,
she's one of them.
cheese, and banana sandwich.
Yeah, exactly. One
Something
way
like
or
that.
another, you're going to find out if it's nice,
Yeah.
isn't you?
Yeah, exactly. You're gonna eat it somehow. So do you think that well, I don't know, you probably can't really tell that it was an advantage doing an apprenticeship rather than doing it the other routes that are obviously are available.
Yeah,
Yeah. Do you think
yeah,
I think their apprenticeship is a massive advantage because you get to learn on the job as well, don't you? While I was getting paid. Why do you mind you
yeah.
ain't much? What was your when you were first like started? What was it?
I think my old man had me on like £23 a day
Oh,
when I first
70
started.
quid a week. I remember that.
But then the thing is, doing my apprenticeship, and then one of my close friends at the time, he was doing his motor vehicle
Right.
apprenticeship, and both of us were working, and we were still able to go out on weekends, enjoy ourselves, blah blah blah. So we had cash
That's
in
the
our
main thing.
pockets.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas then you had the other people who a lot straight away, but we've grown and grown and grown and grown.
Hmm.
Whereas like people who just walk straight into jobs doing security work or whatever,
Yeah.
they've earned they've earned good money at the start, but they've like plateaued. They've just stayed the
Yeah, they've stayed
same.
sort of in there. They've moved up
Yeah,
to supervisor in the warehouse, and that's sort of where they're sitting.
yeah. It's like mates of mine have got to my age now when I was younger, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
They're like, oh, I wish I'd done an apprenticeship. And it was like, well,
a
you
lot of
could
people
do
say that.
one,
Yeah,
but him being 30 odd years old, having a missus, renting a house, all these utilities and whatever, he then can't take the pay cut to be an apprentice.
you get stuck. Yeah, because you've got to. Well, you got to pay for your mortgage and stuff, haven't you?
Yeah.
This is the thing.
But no, I loved the route I took. It was spot on.
Yeah. So now then, you're started your own business, JK Electrical,
Yeah.
and you've gone through the certification of NAPIT. Is it?
Yep. Yeah. No
How did you
better.
find that?
Oh, I was shitting myself.
Why?
Oh,
Why were you shitting yourself?
I'd watched all the other guys on YouTube and I'd grabbed as much information as I could. But
Yeah.
I'm one of those. If I want to do something
So you're a perfectionist, you mean?
to a degree, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was stressing so much and like getting a couple of jobs lined up. I was stressing about it and blah blah blah. And then the day came, the geezer was sound as a pound.
Yeah.
Went through it all, and I literally like the dining room table. I had this document, that document, this document, literally the whole
So
list.
you
And I had
prepared then. That's how you got over it in effect. You prepared
yeah,
everything and said, right, this
yeah,
I'm organized.
yeah.
Did he catch you out on anything?
I think it was
They always try to, I think.
the questions I got were about earthing.
Right.
So with your TT, with your TNCS and
PME, stuff like
TNS.
that.
Yeah, so I ended up turning around and I got two of them right, and then one of them he said I got wrong, and I was like, hold on a sec, pulled out because I had the
Freaking
books
right.
there, pulled it out, and I went, no, I am right, but you mean this context? And he was like, yeah, and then yeah, it was sweet.
Cool. So you basically showed him up, so he thought, better shut up now. I better
but
not ask him anything else because he just knows anyway. That's
but it
a
was
lot
like
of the time they like the guy that last did me. He said, "Oh, 6 months, 9 months ago, I was a plumber." It's like what? You've been qualified electrician for so long, and now you're assessing me. I didn't get it.
no, the guy I had was spot on, and it like I'd been to the property like literally 2 days before that I had my assessment at, and I was like literally dotting every I, crossing every T, like making
Got
sure
it
it
all
was
sorted. Oh,
pristine. I
look, this
did not,
one's loose, apparently. This is
yeah.
what the test is not showing up. Yeah, because I unscrewed it yesterday.
And then when he wanted to get like main ZE and stuff like that done, and then when I rocked up, she literally opened the door and she went, "We're both on a Zoom call, but whatever you need, crack on." And I was like, "We can't turn the power off now, can we?"
Yeah, it's spot on. Did you tell him to say that?
No, to be
Make
fair,
sure you're making dinner for your sick kids.
it's like the customer's job it was. I'd I'd been there working out on and off for about four to six
Right,
months
it's gone
anyway.
well, like yeah.
Ah, absolutely lovely customers, spot
Mm.
on.
So from the days of doing automatic doors
Mm,
and doing subbing and possibly three phase and single phase stuff like that, and then on the tray work on these frigging high story buildings,
yeah.
what does a typical day for yourself look like now?
At the moment, I've got quite a lot of work with a builder.
Is this
So I'm,
domestic?
yeah,
Yeah. So
I'd,
do you
I'd,
primarily do domestic these days?
yeah, yeah. So at the moment, I've got a lot of work with a builder,
Mhm.
and that's like extensions and stuff like that, kitchens, bathrooms,
Right.
and then I've started working with some of the other guys, Chris from TFS.
Cool.
So I do work with him, and that's domestic. But then we had some commercial, you could say, because it was a bus garage.
Yeah. I
So
suppose
that,
because you've got experience in domestic, commercial, industrial, you're quite an asset to somebody else as well.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it's like I've been, as I say earlier, very fortunate. I've been able to do a lot of things, and I've been an electrician, and then I've spent a lot of time in the automatic door industry as well,
Mhm.
because I left being an electrician to go employed because I couldn't find anything employed in the electrical industry. So I've spent a
Right.
lot of time in the automatic door industry being employed. So then I've been on the major sites around London, and then
What
I've
Briggs and
been,
Forrester, stuff like that, and
yeah,
big places. Yeah.
yeah, like Taylor Wimpey's, Sir Robert McAlpine. Like there's a
Right.
big job in London by Cannon Street, the Bloomberg building.
Mhm.
I was a part of the automatic door industry installation
Right.
there.
So that's
And
quite
then,
interesting as well, I suppose, isn't it? Are you one of these guys?
yeah,
Well, one of these guys like every other electrician. You walk past it, Jim, where you misses and go, "I fit that."
she hates it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You got to wait till he turns around and says, "What has it got out of order on it then?" Oh no, I did do that bit.
No, no. It's out of warranty now.
That was the other guy.
No, I've worked in some interesting places and
What's the most
been.
interesting then?
I tell you what, we done one of the stations around London, and
Mhm.
this was when I was working for my dad. We ended up doing a survey on the station fire exit doors,
Right.
and we literally went in every area of this station.
That's
We went
cool. Yeah.
underground, and we were popping up doors over here, over there, and like when you come out of this doorway, and you're like, "We're over here now," and then you
Yeah.
go
Hang
through this
about.
tunnel. It, that's what I love about central London, like the heritage
Yeah.
and like the history and the architecture and stuff like that. I think it's
Yeah, because there
amazing.
is
Like,
one of them underground tunnels as well that someone said that there's horses at the end of one. That's because disused. It goes into a horse field somewhere.
I'll tell you what, I think it's actually my missus, her mum's place. She's
Right.
got a picture of like above ground that you can see the station, and then underneath the station, you've got all the tunnels going left, right, and centre, and it's like the network underneath the ground.
Yeah.
It's
The amount of work
madness.
that went into it, that's been done over years, sort of thing, from the
Yeah.
Victorian times and stuff. Yeah, that's interesting stuff. Have you ever gone to a job and thought, yeah, I ain't got a clue about this. I need to ring somebody or back up.
Yeah.
Have you got someone
Maybe.
that you can call then to say, look, man, this has
That's
confused the hell out of me.
that's one thing I love about the social media side of the electrical industry.
Yeah.
It's like yourself, we connected over
Hmm.
we met at Elex, then we met
Yeah.
at the football. And then it's like Chris, and then there's some other guys, like Cole Sparky.
Right.
I'm in like so many little group chats with people, and
Oh
then
yeah.
you just make
Yeah. Because I
connections and
suppose you've
make
got the same
friends with people.
interests as
Yeah,
well.
but and then it's just like you turn up and you've got like, the one thing I hate is TT systems. I
Right.
detest them. I don't like them because, like, one, I do not like sinking a rod anywhere because you never
You
know what
never
you.
know what's there, do you?
I've,
I'm going to go straight through the frigging
I'll
mains.
touch every bit of wood known to man. I've never hit anything sinking a rod, but it's just like as soon as you put it down, you're just like,
Shall I carry on hammering? Is that enough?
yeah,
It's going down
yeah.
far too easy, man. But then it hits something you think, is it a cable? Is it a sewage pipe? Is it a rock?
I was working for a solar firm the other year, and I think it was start of last year, and with the EPS sockets, you have to sink an earth rod,
Right.
and they had all the stuff fitted in the garage, blah blah blah, and then he was like, "We need to sink an earth rod." He said, "Oh yeah, do it down there; it'll be out of the way." All right, sound. And I'm like, "What's that building there?" Oh, that's the main transformer and power for the whole of the estate. And I'm like, so you're telling me there's spider web of cables underneath
Come
this
out of there
floor, and you
anyway.
want me to sink an earth rod? I was just like, nah.
Okay, you got to have some of them. Sometimes they have them cable finders, don't they? But I've seen guys with them before, and they're like, "Yeah, I dug a hole there and it weren't there." So they're not always
Mm,
right.
nah. I think the one, if I was having to do a proper TT system and I was having to sink an earth rod, I'd want to go with, like the plate system where you dig the hole and bury the
Yeah,
plate,
yeah, yeah.
stuff
Bury a
like
plate,
that.
like
Yeah,
yeah, it's
because
a
at
bit of an
least with
advantage.
a spade, you know what you're coming up against.
So, as an electrician yourself, do you think you specialize in any specific subject
No,
or something you enjoy? No, you're just. Do you say no then?
yeah,
So
I
you just do it all.
I will do. Yeah,
So what
I've done.
what do you enjoy doing most?
I like doing like SWAs and stuff like
Do
that.
you
I like,
proper armor?
yeah,
What proper like 35 mil, 50 mils?
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, getting your
Because
hands dug in.
because you get that satisfaction factor
Yeah,
at the end of
you
it.
can form them nice, can you?
Exactly, and then like you have to build it up and blah blah blah. Like I said earlier about doing the pyro stuff like
Right.
that.
Yeah, I
It's
suppose
just
it's stuff that not a lot of people do. Because are you any good with heating controls?
um yes and no.
What do you mean? It's either yes or no. What do you mean yes and no?
I'm good because I work through it.
Yeah.
I'm bad because I don't know it all.
Right. We know no one knows it all sort of thing. Especially if you've got
Exactly.
underfloor heating in there and that as well, ain't you?
Yeah. But it's like I'll gladly take on a heating control job just so then I can spend the time to figure it out or speak to someone to help me out. And
Enjoy the
then
challenge.
once I've done it, then I know for next time, if that
Yeah,
makes sense.
definitely. You learn something new every day.
Yeah. Yeah. It
Yeah.
gets boring when you're just doing like a ring main or a radio or
Yeah,
a light
yeah,
fitting
definitely.
change.
You want to do something different, don't you? I got a job once
Yeah.
where I don't know. I just wanted to change something different. This was years ago, and I got a job where I was just testing, and it was quite good money. So that's why I went for it. But then
Mm.
they give me a van, they give me the uniform, they give me a clipboard, they give me a mega, and I was testing for a week till I quit. I thought this is boring. I
Yeah.
cannot do that all the time.
Yeah.
Testing does my nutting because just writing down remedials and stuff like that. I was traveling as well. Could be asked.
Well, it's like when I done first the first solar farm I did, all the arrays, so all the rows of panels,
Yeah.
we had to gland aluminium cables in,
Oh yeah.
and that was interesting because we get to use like when you see the HV jointers use these cutters or strippers that like
Yeah.
they've got like 4 or 5 different rings around each side, and they ring it round, and then they strip it back, and then we had to put braided
Right.
cables round it with a spring clip. Then we had to heat shrink it all down. So we got the like blow torches out and did it all that,
Oh yeah.
and it looked mint. And then the next job I did, I done the LV side of the substations.
Right.
So I was doing anything from a little baby armored all the way up to like 95s and
Proper stuff.
bigger,
Man. It's like
and
yeah.
then like glanding them all in. And then plus it was like 1 meter for you, 2 meters
Yes,
for
plenty
me.
of scrap. That's the thing, isn't it?
Yes.
With bigger
And
cables, it is.
we were in digs, so it was like literally sitting there every night watching a movie,
Stripping.
stripping back to bright. And it was like the amount of Stanley blades we went through, but we all
Yeah.
got them all from sight.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes because back in the day as well, you used to get it. You used to, but the lads used to keep it. But these days,
Yeah.
sometimes they say, "Oh no, the scraps incorporated within the quote we gave. You got to give it back to the company." Flipping hell, sure. Never heard of
Yeah,
that, mate. There wasn't any scrap. We measured that perfect.
yeah, they don't want to check my backpack as I leave site.
So then also within JK Electrical, you've started out with a social media. Like
Yep.
you've got quite a big following on TikTok. You've started on Instagram. You've reached
Yep.
2,000 on Instagram. I saw the other day where you give away kit. That was
Yeah,
quite cool. That was a cool giveaway.
actually sent it out today.
Yeah, yeah.
Sent it to the guy. So
Nice.
yeah,
It's
can't wait for
difficult,
him
isn't
to
it?
get
Because with
that.
a giveaway, you do want everyone to get something and they want to win, but you got to pick one person.
Oh no, well, like the wife helped me do it, and we went through it all, and we were like checking everyone's entered it correctly,
Yeah,
and like
done their
followed
bits.
this one, done this, done that, shared it, blah blah
Yeah.
blah. And then she was like, "You can't just put your mates in there." And I'm like, "I'm not putting my mates in there." So I'm
I
ringing them
just
up, and I'm
know
going
them as
like,
well.
"Enter, enter properly, do this, do this," and
Yeah,
then he could enter.
you've done it wrong.
About three of my pals rung me up after I like done the spin the wheel and done the giveaway, and they were like, "You're dead to me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's a
didn't win. I
fix. It's
get that all
this,"
the
and I was
time.
like, "Trust."
They say all these competitions you do, Ben. I'm not winning anything. I said, well, your name's not coming out. This is how it works.
I won last year on giveaways through Instagram was madness. I got all my work clothing. I won that in a giveaway.
Nice.
Uh, I won a giveaway that was like a combination of tools and loads of bits and bobs.
You
That
do
was
win quite a
banging.
few bits, don't you?
Yeah, I've done really well out of giveaways, and
Yeah.
like people are turning around to me and going, "You're paying the guy. Your fix it is fixed that you win." It's
That's a
just like
lucky
no.
man, you know. So what got you started on wanting to post on social media? And obviously you're helping other lads as well and showing what you do as an electrician.
The infamous Bundy.
Oh yeah.
So basically, I set up JK Electrical. I forget when it was incorporated, but basically, I set up the company, worked for myself, and I was subcontracting and took on a couple of jobs for myself. I got married, so
Right.
I plowed all my money into that.
Right.
Then the van got broken into,
Oh,
and the job I was running at the same time, he tried to knock me for some money. And at that point, someone rang me up and was like, "Oh, do you want to come and work for us?" This was the automatic door industry. So
right.
I whacked it all in, kept the company running in the background,
Mm-hmm.
but it was just dormant. And then went employed, and then I started back out March last year, subbing again. And then
Yeah.
when I knew I wanted to go back in March last year, I started like researching to make sure I was up to
To
date
start up
and
on your own and
current.
that.
Yeah, and that's where I found Bundy. Then I fell into like Dave Savory. I came
Yeah.
across yourself, and that was YouTube. And then I set up the company page doing like JK Electrical,
Yeah.
and it was just like
So do you think
start post.
all these people that you followed and watching on YouTube, they helped you start your own company?
No, they didn't help me start my own company, but
The advice,
they
maybe.
yeah, but it was the hunger to actually present myself on the platform of Instagram,
Yeah.
and that's where I wanted to go. And I've always thought of the social media, Instagram and TikTok that I do at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
I have got a YouTube domain
Right.
platform account, but there's nothing on there as of yet.
As of
Eventually,
yet, sooner to come in the
eventually,
future, maybe.
eventually there may be something,
Yeah.
but it's just the only reason why I do the social media is to use it like a CV
Right.
for
Perfect.
customers.
Yeah.
That was the main forte for it. And then if I get noticed by any manufacturers, then that's a win, which I haven't as of yet. I've had some good chats with
Because
manufacturers,
you win
and I
everything. That's why.
yeah, I've had some good chats with them, and but it's the connections I've made
Yeah.
through social media, like coming on here and talking to yourself and Chris, and there's loads of people
Yeah.
who I talk to on a regular basis, and it just keeps growing, which I think is fantastic.
Definitely. Yeah. It grows your network in a way, doesn't it? Because
Yeah,
like you say, if you're out of work, you could just, I suppose you could send a text message down. Someone go, well, come with me tomorrow then.
yeah,
Because I've got this job on, man. I need a hand. And I've seen all your work and spoke to you for a little while. So
yeah.
you trust you and get on. Because it is hard trying to find good lads, I think.
Oh, 1,000%. But that's why I say, like, with my social media, I use it as a CV. So anyone wants to know what I'm about, there's more than enough videos
Look
of
on there.
me doing the work sometimes acting an idiot, sometimes
Yeah, a
I'm
bit of
doing
jest
it.
in there as well. Why not? Bit of
Exactly.
yourself, maybe. Yeah.
And it's like we done a video the other week because I couldn't. I was doing the narration over the video, and I was
Yeah.
like, "This sounds dead." And I gave it to the missus, and she done some like sarcastic um,
She added a bit of flair to it, did
voiceover.
she?
Yeah, and it went. It's up to 20 odd K now. I was like, "That's chuff."
Nice.
So then we've put another one out tonight, so we'll see how that one does.
Cool, cool. We'll have to check that out. Yeah. So you've got yeah, she'll be wanting to part of this payment of that, then being part of JK Electrical.
Oh, well, apparently I've got to buy her these new TikTok Ugg slippers or
Right. Okay.
whatever.
She's
That
already spent her earnings.
Oh, big time. And then it's like I said, oh, so once you've got these slippers, what you're not doing anymore? And she went, no, I'll find something else I want.
Yeah, 100%. They always do, man. Without a doubt.
Yeah.
There'll always be something on there I want to try out.
Well, it's like with the TikTok shop, I get all the samples and stuff like that come
Yeah.
through. She's like, well, what is this? And I was like, it's me for work.
Yeah.
How much does that cost you? Nothing.
Yeah. That's what my miss says as well. Well, can't you get this? Well, I said, not really. It's not electrical. Like, it's nothing to do
Yeah.
with like my channel and stuff. So I don't want that diffuser.
Well, it's been all right because with the TikTok, I've been able to get stuff for the Apprentice.
Oh, spot on.
So I've been able to get in some screwdrivers, some cutters, some bits and bobs
Oh, that's good
through
as
the
well,
free
then.
samples and stuff like that. So it's win-win, isn't
What,
it?
and selling it all at a discounted rate?
I wish. No,
Yeah,
it gets them
you got
as
to help out,
freebies.
ain't you? There's a lot of guys out there that say like, "Oh, I don't want to help youngsters, or don't want to help people learning to be electricians because they'll take the work off us." But end of the day, man, how did we learn?
Well, how are you going to set up the new generation? If you ain't willing to
Exactly.
put your time in, how are you going to set up the new
Yeah, and
generation?
there's going to be plenty of work because it's just getting busier all the time. Like you say, with solar panels, wind turbines, and electric cars, everything like that. Do you install EV chargers as well?
I've done a couple.
Yeah.
I've not done many. I've done quite a lot of time on solar installations domestically and the solar farms.
Cool.
I've done minimal amount of air source heat pumps. But I don't think EV vehicles are going to be the be all and end all. But that's
Nor
my
do
opinion.
I do. You haven't got one then.
It's Nah, don't be
No,
silly.
I'm not interested either, man.
Nah, nah. It's I love the combustion engine.
Yes, this
That
is it. I
is the
like the
way
sound
forward.
of it as well. Like, so you can
Exactly.
hear where you're going and hear if it's broke. Things
It's
electrical
like
just don't come on.
it's like I rocked up to the shops last night. A geezer pulled up in one of them 300 DCs, the
Right.
Chrysler, which has got a Hemi engine in it, and
Mm.
he had like it was like you've got the RS and stuff like that. This had this SPD or whatever it was.
It's what,
This
surge
low
protection?
it was something on there,
Yeah, yeah,
and I was just like, "What does that mean?" And he went, "That's a proper Hemi in there," and I was like, "Proper muscle, good
proper,
man."
proper car. Like,
Exactly.
yeah, diesel,
Yeah.
the petrol lovers. This is the
Yeah.
thing. Mhm. So, what is the future for JK Electrical, do you think, yourself?
I don't want to get too big. I
No?
like
Are you gonna, do you ever think of employing other people or?
the type of guy to sit there and just be the manager. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, I'll
You
always be on the
always want to be hands
tools.
on.
Yeah. I'm one of them guys. If I'm standing there watching someone do something, I'm looking at them thinking, no, move out the way, I'll do it myself. Which is what the issue I have with my apprentice. It's like there's too much of me going, just move, I'll do
I'll
it.
do it, man. Take half as long.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly that. Um, I'll Maybe I'll get to the point where my apprentice, if he progresses and gets to the point where and he wants to stay the course, then he gets his own van as a subcontractor
Mm-hmm.
or maybe an employee, and then the two of us have apprentices.
Yeah.
But I don't really want to get to the point where I've got five guys underneath me. I don't want
No.
that stress.
Yeah, I think that's a lot stressful as well. Like having loads of lads keeping an eye on the jobs and make sure it's all going well.
But then, plus, with the customers, you end up losing that.
Relationship in a way, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's not as personal. It's like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, I'll have Tom with you on Tuesday and I'll have Richard with you on Thursday.
Mm.
And it's just like, no, but I'm employing Joe to do the job. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's where I like to
think
be.
sort of your business is you, isn't it? This is the
Yeah,
thing. So when they phone up, they trust you. They give you the keys to their house, and they trust you to do whatever you need doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you were to give somebody learning as an electrician, they're a bit of advice, what would the best bit of advice you think you could give them?
Nothing's a stupid question. Because I always tell Charlie, ask as many questions as you want. There's nothing stupid. Exactly. And I'd rather him ask the question than go ahead by himself and cost me or someone else money.
That is a bloody good idea. That happens a lot.
Yeah, it does. You see Chris's video the other day when we left the apprentices.
Yeah, I think I did. Cut a hole in the ceiling, so too big for the downlight.
Exactly.
Which is an easy mistake, I can understand, but for flip's sake, because you just assume, don't you? Because you've done it 1,000 times yourself, just cut them downlights out. You maybe check the downlights, what size, but they're just like, oh, right, yeah, I'll just cut. Oh, too big.
And then just be keen. Just literally turn up on time, do what you need to do, but be keen. You know what I mean? If you're standing there with your hands in your pockets or you're standing there on the phone all day, then your governor's not going to be interested.
Mate.
Yeah. That's it. And just be willing to learn. That's all I ask. As long as they're willing to learn.
With everything that you get up to as an electrician, how long have you been an electrician now?
I've been since I left school, and I'm bloody 33 this year.
Youngster still, man, in my eyes. So good. What's that? 15 years?
Yeah, over 15 years because I left school when. Yes, it's got to be 16, give or take.
Right. So if someone wanted to find out what Joe from JK Electrical is up to, where would be the best place to see what you get up to from day to day?
It's most probably the TikTok at the moment because I'm posting most stuff on TikTok. Instagram, I am posting stuff, but it's my TikTok. I'm sending a lot of stuff out.
So for your giveaways, basically make sure to follow you on Instagram because that's where it happens.
Giveaway on the Instagram, and then stories I usually post on Instagram, depending. But yeah, mainly TikTok. They're the two platforms I'm on constantly.
We'll make sure we'll leave a link in the description of this podcast to make sure that people can follow you.
Thank you.